A very warm welcome to you here at THEKI, your podcast for consciousness, health, and happiness. I'm Sandra, and our topic for today is the fight for life force energy. Let's dive right in. Are you familiar with the Baxxter Experiment? In the 1950s, Cleve Baxxter was a leading expert on lie detectors. He even trained police officers and security specialists for the CIA on how to use lie detectors. At some point, the good Mr. Baxxter had the idea of hooking up plants to the lie detector. And the results that were measured were truly astonishing. Because he was able to detect reactions in the plants to his thoughts and intentions without even having to say them out loud, he just thought it. The plant reacted to his intention, for example, when he intended to set it on fire. There were also very strong spikes in the readings at the intention of pouring boiling water on it. Yes, it even showed compassion for other plants that were being mistreated by him in its presence. I mean, you have to imagine what that means, that a plant can even assess the danger and what it means for it. So, a clear potential for danger emanated from him, which the plant simply picked up on. What was even more astonishing was that the plant even recognized the person who had mistreated the other plant, even when that person re-entered the room much later. So this experiment clearly proves one thing, and it's something that energy healers have known for a long time. Everything is consciousness, everything is interconnected, and everything influences everything else. In principle, we can never fool anyone. Everyone immediately senses when we're not being honest, when we're afraid, when we're lying, when we're just acting. Everyone senses it on a deeper level. Of course, everyone has their mental programs and buffer systems that might then say, well, maybe it is true after all, but the feeling, that was there long before, and our heart always knows the truth. So, what does this have to do with you and your life force energy? I'm about to tell you. I think every one of us knows what it's like when some people bring out the best in us. They help us live as the best version of ourselves. And others manage to make us feel really bad. Yes, some people practically give us life energy, and others, they steal it from us. There are a few important points to consider that will help you better understand this topic, because it's about nothing more and nothing less than our life force energy. And once we understand how this game, this back and forth works, we can end this fight for life energy. And with the information to follow, we can even transform it into love and hold on to that energy within ourselves. So please be sure to listen to this podcast all the way to the end, because I'll be breaking down the information bit by bit. Many people are in a constant battle for life force energy all day long, yes, even their entire lives. And many of them don't stand the slightest chance of winning this fight. They become more and more listless, more drained. They might get sick, they age faster, and so on. While others, on the other hand, seem to have a free life force energy filling station, so to speak. But the source of this filling station has to be the right one. When we take life force energy from other people, it's a game on a very, very low level. It's a battle. That energy will then be missing somewhere else. Then we'll want to get it back again, and so on. It's a vicious cycle. But anyone who knows THEKI and other heart-based methods, who lives in divine consciousness and treats their fellow human beings with respect and love, is connected to the highest source and is also nourished by this highest source. But many people don't know about this heavenly filling station, and so they refuel themselves from other people and animals, usually without even being aware of it. They just notice, I need something, I am hungry for energy, so to speak. And then they see the next person or animal available and use their strategies to get life force energy from them. But it's much more beautiful when we receive so much energy from our source, from the divine source, that we can even pass some of it on to other people and animals in need. That's why today we're going to look very closely at how our daily battle for life energy works, so that we can see through it in our everyday lives. And then, of course, what we can do to end this battle and change things for the better. What's clear is, whenever we do something we don't want to do, something that doesn't interest us, for example, going to school, or doing something at work that we really don't want to do, that we only do because we need the money, or when we do something that hurts us, for example, in a relationship, the partner's lack of affection, sex that you don't feel like having, and in countless other examples, then we lose life force energy every single time. The energy usually goes to the person who has power over us in that situation. That could be your boss, your teacher, your partner, whoever can dictate at that moment what we should do, what we must do, or how we have to behave. But because we can feel that we've given away energy that we're now lacking, we unconsciously try to get that energy back. And we do this either very directly, by wanting to get it back from the very person who took it from us. Then we might attack that person. It makes us aggressive because we subconsciously feel that they have stolen our life force energy. And this attacking, of course, can manifest in different ways. This could mean we belittle the person, we insult them, we start some kind of fight under some pretext, we make them look ridiculous. And as a result, that person is then practically in a position where they lose energy, and that energy then goes back onto our energy account. If it doesn't work so well directly with that person, then we might get it from somewhere else. For example, we might behave as just described, but not with the same person. Instead, we do it with other people who, in turn, will let us do it to them. These people who have now lost their energy will want to find ways to get it back again. And often, this battle doesn't just play out in the partnership or in a single relationship at work or in a friendship. Instead, the battle is fought on all levels and in all relationships. Because you notice again and again, I can't get it here, so I'll try somewhere else. Everyone tries to compensate for the lack within themselves. And now I'd like to give you a few very concrete examples of what this looks like in everyday life. And then you can check yourself a little bit and see, what do I recognize from this? What might I be doing myself? And until now, I didn't even know why I was doing it. So I'm getting my life force energy back, so to speak. And what do I perhaps let others do to me? And until now, I haven't understood what's actually happening energetically. So bullying is a very good way to get energy from a person. They become weak, they feel bad, and just like that, their energy is now with you. Cheating is also a good way. If you're in an unhappy relationship and feel inferior to your partner, for example, then you exert power over them again, and through the back door, so to speak, you supply yourself with their life energy. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to stand it anymore. You'd have to leave. So for many, this fight for life force energy is what allows them to stay in the relationship. They do things behind the scenes that aren't right, but that justifies them being able to endure it for a while longer. Of course, this also applies to physical violence, including towards animals. From this perspective, the belief that meat makes you strong should also be reconsidered. Whenever we use violence, especially actual physical violence, but also psychological violence against someone, we take a great deal of life force energy from that person whom we are suppressing and, of course, hurting in that moment. Telling someone things that hurt them or lower their energy. For example, something like, I saw your ex-wife the other day with a new guy in a Porsche, such show-offs. Yes, those little side swipes. Everyone knows them. Things you seem to say casually, as if you don't mean anything by it, but you know perfectly well that it will affect the other person. And the moment it hits, it's a bit like pricking a balloon with a needle. All the air rushes out and you can, so to speak, immediately suck it up. Let's look at people in positions of power, for example, politicians who make decisions affecting many people and sometimes, well, aren't entirely honest. Some are corrupt, or they don't have a well-developed sense of right and wrong, of justice. They have a different understanding of it. They feed on the energy of many, many people, and also on the energy of money, which they often receive for their corrupt dealings. That is also energy. And so it just continues. Someone who is beaten beats others. Someone who is teased sometimes teases others. And that is one of the easiest and most direct ways to get that life energy back. But of course, you never reach a higher, more healing level that way. The current mask mandate, for example, also brings out a mentality in many people where they act like private police officers. Do you have your mask on? Why aren't you wearing it? Your mask isn't over your nose? That has happened too. These are perhaps people who like to control and reprimand others to get energy. And now they're allowed to do it, practically sanctioned, so to speak, by the authorities, even in public spaces, even to strangers. All of this even plays out in wars. Between countries, between races, between religions, we can see it all over the world. Especially in these current times, think carefully about what you are seeing, what you are observing, and how you want to position yourself in relation to it. So have you reflected on yourself? I want to ask you a few questions now, and I'm really asking you, be completely and brutally honest with yourself. Even if it turns out that you might be energetically exploiting other people, or have been, without even realizing it. Or that you're letting yourself be exploited, perhaps even by people you love dearly, or even by those you wouldn't give the time of day to. Only if you are truly and brutally honest with yourself now can you change something. You can truly reach this realization and thereby attain a higher level where this issue can be transformed. Otherwise, the eternal victim-perpetrator game will continue, and you'll see just how wide the ripples of this will spread. So my questions are these. Do any of the points I just mentioned apply to you? Do you treat others this way? Or do you let yourself be treated this way? Do you recognize yourself in this? Do you sometimes need approval and seek it in these ways? Are you addicted to compliments? Is it important for you to always get attention? Do you suffer from any addictions? Do you sometimes put yourself or others down to get attention or to make yourself seem bigger in comparison? Realize that only people with very low self-esteem put others down. It doesn't matter if it's you doing it or if it's the people who are doing it to you. Only people with very low self-esteem do this at all. Others have no need for it. This is one of the most effective strategies for a person who doesn't know their own worth, who deeply doubts themselves, who is unaware of their own soul and magnificence, and who inside is often just a miserable wreck. But on the outside, no one is supposed to notice, which is why it's good if others can't seem bigger than you are. I've often observed situations like this. I've often seen just how tricky our ego can be and how well it works. On people who don't know about these tricks. Others don't fall for it anymore. And as of today, neither will you, because now you know. But those who know nothing of these tricks, who don't have the strongest self-confidence themselves, they're the ones who take the bait. You can spend an incredible amount of time with such games. You can spend a lifetime letting your boss, your colleagues, your partner, or your friends keep you down, all while believing that it's somehow right or that it must be true. But the truth is different. The truth is, you don't dare to step out of your comfort zone. You don't dare to live your own greatness, to shine your own light, and to show your magnificence to the world. People who want to keep other people down only show how small they themselves are. Because people who know their true inner greatness help others to discover theirs as well. They build others up. They make sure others are empowered. They help others. They heal and love others. And it doesn't matter which side you've been on until now. It doesn't matter what answers came up for those questions. It doesn't matter if a little or a lot of this applies to you. You're probably asking yourself, how can I do better? One of the more beautiful and, above all, more sustainable ways to get life force energy is love. Not personal love, no. In many situations, it's really not possible to always love everyone, to love strangers. We're not talking about this personal level, but rather of this love that we all are. We are all love. We are all woven from this fine, divine energy. We are embedded in a web of love and consciousness. And when we activate this love much more within us again, when we live it, when we are it, then we become more and more energy independent. We don't need the energy of others. We then have a much better source, an inexhaustible source. But how do I get into this love? How can I manage it, especially with people who may have put me down for years? Or yes, how can I forgive myself? How can I forgive other people? How can I return to that neutrality? Yes, the key word is forgiveness. Forgive those who hurt you, who humiliate you, who belittle, bully, or hit you, or whatever else they do. Forgive them from the bottom of your heart and let go. Just move on. How much longer do you want to keep beating each other up and dragging others into this mess as well? Make a new decision today. Stop listening to people who make you feel small. If you make yourself feel small, then don't even listen to yourself anymore. Don't listen to that ego, which, like a broken record, endlessly repeats the same thing over and over. Go deeper. Go within. Into your heart. To the place where your true self is waiting for you. Recognize yourself. Recognize your greatness. Recognize your radiance, your light, your love. Acknowledge all of it. Accept it. And just shine. Carry your radiance, your light, and your love out into the world and infect others with it. Help others to find and release their own light. Also, and especially those who wanted to make you feel small. They need it the most. Understand that the other person is the way they are because their life's path has made them that way, perhaps over many incarnations. The worse a person's actions, the further they have moved away from their true self, from their own soul, from their essence. And believe me, that is punishment enough. You don't have to ensure there is justice. Trust that life will do that. Possibly over incarnations as well. It doesn't have to concern you. You just have to forgive and let go. And you are free. You are truly free the very moment you decide to be free and to step out of all these power ego games. And you hold on to your energy. Love and forgiveness are truly powerful tools that truly reconnect you with your true self, with the divine, with your divine essence. And that is the true source of your life force energy. When you are completely centered within yourself again, when you can hold your center, when you understand yourself as a being between heaven and earth, then the energy of Mother Earth and Father Source flows to you, And then you will always be fed by these two sources, and you will no longer need to engage in these power ego games and continue the fight for life force energy, no matter the role. You no longer need to. You can find more tools for this here in my podcast. For example, there's a forgiveness meditation that you can do. There's also a podcast about harmonizing relationships with other people. Well, a video of mine. You can watch the video first and then, for example, do the forgiveness meditation. Maybe you'll also find other tools here on my YouTube channel. A very effective tool is also the Taurus activation, exactly as we do it in the THEKI 2 seminar. If you've already attended that, then dig it out again and make it a daily exercise until your Taurus field remains stable on its own. If you haven't done the seminars yet, then just come. They are now also available online. We have beautiful in-person seminars. We have online seminars that are recorded just like the in-person ones, so you get the full experience and receive everything, just as you would on site. You decide what's right for you, to work more and more on yourself, to step more and more into your love, into your light, and to simply shine. All the best.